taking a head coach opportunity?
I feel like it's a little bit different of a situation because Cliff Kingsbury has had head coaching experiences, right? And say what you want about how it went with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sure Cliff is very pointed about what he expects from the next situation and learning from those mistakes. He has a quarterback that we all can agree is the future of the NFL. And not only that, he operates the offense that Cliff wants at a very high level. If I'm Cliff Kingsbury going into this offseason, what you have to fight against is your own tendencies, because it's not just a sophomore slump for Jayden. It will be the offense as well, because they're going to study Jayden. They're going to say, what does he like to do? What makes him comfortable? What kind of plays does Cliff like to call for Jayden in certain situations? And it's going to be harder in year 2. It always is, because that's what the NFL is about.
I love what you said about tendencies, because as an offensive play caller, and those guys on that side of the ball, when things work, we say it all the time, keep running them. Don't try to change it up. But you give defenses a full 17 games, and then you include the playoffs in there. Well, now we can dissect who Jayden Daniels is and who Cliff Kingsbury is as an offensive coordinator with him under center. Going into this first season, you have no idea what you're going to get, how much QB run versus moving the pocket, all of these different things. And then you end up getting all the 4-by-1 formations, 2 running backs out there, and everything that Cliff Kingsbury threw at them. Now going into this season, you have to have the answers to the test when you show up. If you're Cliff Kingsbury, you're studying your own offense all offseason and say, hey, what are defense going to do? What things worked against us that we can prepare and get ready for going into the season and having those answers for Jayden Daniels?
Daniels and company got Washington to its first conference championship appearance since 1991. Let's go to a franchise that just says, hey, every single year we'll meet you there in the conference championship, and that is the Chiefs. And that defense has been fantastic during this run. They continue to get better under Steve Spagnuolo. He's been in his bag when we talk about big moments and blitzing at the right time. That will certainly play a role in New Orleans against the Eagles defense. The KCD locked up the AFC Championship behind that exotic DB blitz on that Bills 4th and 5 after the 2-minute warning. It's a big part of what the Chiefs do, as Spags has dialed up D-back blitzes at the second highest rate in the NFL this season, with both the most sacks and QB pressures on those plays. That includes 11 quarterback pressures this postseason using a DB in the pass rush, and I'm sure that makes you smile.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you got the green light to get in the backfield?
We saw, and it's not only getting the backfield, Spags, you got to draw it up clean so nobody touches me. As a DB coming through, if a lineman slides to me, if Deion Dawkins is sliding to me, I'm coming in right away. When he gets there, I'm just stopping my tracks. I'm just looking at the quarterback. I'm going to jump because I'm not running into no 300-pounder. So that's what Spags does such a good job of. He designs it for unblocked defenders. But I think outside of just the blitzes, it's the communication of this defense and their ability to solve any issue. Right here, we have the Buffalo Bills coming out in the 4-by-1 set that Orlovsky details all the time. Right away, the safeties start to communicate what their third down call is and how do they get to it. And we're seeing Cook right now talk to Connor because they have a double team on Khalil Shakir. They have to make that eye contact and know, hey, I'm working with you. So now Connor looks at Justin Reed and says, hey, you're locked on Dalton Kincaid. You have him. Watson is man-to-man right there in front of Mac Hollins. So now in a bunch can be the hardest time to make a double team and figure this thing out. But when you communicate, when you're looking at each other, when you're using hand signals, you're able to figure out ball snaps. They get off the line. The double team is executed. Shakir is not open. And now they have to throw the ball against Trent McDuffie, their best DB one-on-one against Keon Coleman. When Spags is sitting in the office and you're drawing up this defense, you're saying, all right, this is exactly where we want the ball. Our best corner against your third, maybe fourth wide receiver, and I'll live with it. Mac Hollins made a big catch in that game against Trent McDuffie, but you go as a defense, you say, you know what? They got us on that one, but I feel comfortable with this defense and my guys executing it.
Yeah, you take your chances. And going into the Super Bowl, the Eagles have to be prepared for some of that pressure from the defensive backfield. There's a couple of plays. We remember the 4th down play that we saw against the Bills, and what Spags likes to do is he's going to overload blitz from one side with 2 defensive backs to try to get that offensive line to ruin their gap assignments, and delayed blitz from the corner, which is actually turned into the nickel there. And I went back to 2017. This is against Aaron Rodgers. This is them picking it up. Same blitz. Delayed blitz, overload to one side, but you see the offensive line, and Aaron Rodgers slide the protection the right way. they're going to have to be prepared for that, the Philadelphia Eagles, and not get cut off guard by what Spags has been known to like.
You pulled out 2017 tape.
We went deep into our film bag this week, man. Me and J-Mac was.
I love that.
Dive deep. We got a little whiles away for the Super Bowl, so we're making content here. Kev.
Maybe the most important thing for this Eagles offense cannot be in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 because the blitz is coming.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. On that 1st and 2nd down, you got to take some big chunks here because you know Spags is not going to hold back. And by the way, if they have a coordinator Hall of Fame, he's first ballot. Spags been phenomenal in his career as a DC. We're just getting started here on NFL Live. The Browns hold the 2nd pick in this year's draft. Is top prospect Shedeur Sanders the missing piece in the dog pounds veteran offense? J-Max tells us what he thinks next. Plus, we have a special edition of our favorite segment, Lost in Translation, to kick things off. Take a listen to Jaguars' new head coach, Liam Cohen's interesting pronunciation of this.
Oh, man.
Duval.
You want to help him out.
That's not how you got. That's not how you do it.
You want to Duval.
Maybe if
right
he wins,
man.
it'll change.
It will change.
Duval.
Yeah.
He just got there.
Time to read and react to some of the biggest storylines around the league. Steelers president Art Rooney spoke on Monday during his end-of-season news conference. Talked about wide receiver George Pickens saying, quote, George is a very talented player who has room to grow, and we'd like to see him grow, and hopefully he realizes the potential that he has, but there's definitely room for growth there. Hawk, your reaction to that?
I think it's spot on. I think George Pickens has #1 ability, but he needs to get to a level where he has #1 skill. And not just skill on the field. I'm talking about maturity in the way that he approaches the game. Is he a guy that can affect the game whether he's getting the ball or not getting the ball? Is he a guy that on any given play can line up and no matter who knows that the ball is coming to him, he can win? And that means making sure you're clearing out when the play calls for it. It makes defenses look at you and say, okay, we have to defend this guy a certain way, and we never know when the ball is coming away. You know, and that's leadership. That takes time. That takes experience, but it takes an investment from George Pickens into himself and into the process of being a professional.
Kid's got so much talent,
so much
maturity.
talent.
So much talent. All right, to Buffalo, where it's starting to become a theme as the Bills lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons, with Josh Allen falling to 0-4 when opposing Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. It's the first time in NFL history that one team has eliminated another in the playoffs 4 times over a 5-season span. So, J-Mac, what stood out to you and how the Chiefs got it done this time around down the stretch?
Well, you see this play. This was a 4th and 1 earlier in the game, and to me, it comes down to it. The Chiefs execute when it matters most. They came back to the same exact play at the end of the 4th quarter to try to ice this game, and then they put it away with this pass to Samaje Perine, a same pass that they ran in 2017 I saw against the New England Patriots. Andy Reid and this Chiefs team, they know how to operate when it matters most, and that's what the Buffalo Bills are missing. Not only the 4th down play where they don't get the protection set the right way, they're not able to execute the play, but multiple times throughout that game when it comes to the crucial moments, it's the Chiefs that always come out on top. The Bills are right there talent-wise. You want to win a championship, you have to have championship-level execution when it matters most, guys.
Like the Patriots that we saw during their dynasty. It's now the Chiefs' way.